Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Weapon X issue number 24. Just look at this, man. Every single cover for Weapon X is just a piece of art, dude. Man, I'm talking like Comic Book Museum. All of the Weapon X issues have to go up for artwork. Just absolutely gorgeous, man. So this issue is called Weapon X Force Part 3. Writers Greg Pak and Fred Van Lent. Artist Luca Pizzari. Colorist Frank D'Armata. And letterer VC's Joe Caramonga. And cover art Raza. How you doing? All right, so okay, so this comic book, I was just looking to see if there was a variant cover. Nope, nothing like that. So we get basically the exact same thing that's been happening, but now Sauron winds up joining the charge. I'm not even a mutant, but you associate with mutants. What do you call it? That's what Stryker is saying. so basically, this is like a gladiatorial arena. Listen, there was no real story progression here, which is fine. You don't have to have story progression every single issue of a comic book. It's not the most important thing. All right, it's important, but it's not utterly crucial. So here we just have all the X-Force members, Weapon X-Force members, are stuck in a gladiatorial arena kind of thing with freaking Deadpool. They still seem to have their powers, but now they've also got a couple of medieval weapon types. Of course, what do you call it? Deadpool here grabs the shooty thing. He's got crossbow. It looks like it's a repeating crossbow. So he's just like, doo, 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 doo. Man, I hate having the idea of reloading those things. It's terrible. But yeah, man, these guys, they just go out and they start fighting a bunch of other things like Sauron, but there's Pyro is here, the bad guy version, and a bunch of others that I'm trying to figure. Some of these I don't think are actual characters. Whatever, doesn't matter. So they're tearing into these guys, and at one point, listen, here's something that works in comedy really well. Okay, and this is not comedic. I'm going to make the comparison. Something that works in comedy, like stand-up comics. Okay, you'll notice this. Everything's a whole bunch of jokes, but it's not just joke after joke after joke after joke after joke. No, what they'll do is they'll tell a couple of jokes. One of those jokes will be a key joke. And then later on, like maybe 3 or 4, maybe 8, 10 jokes later, they'll tell a joke that relates to that joke back there again. So suddenly you're remembering everything that happened there. And suddenly the whole entire thing, there's a theme for that stand-up special that happens all the time in stand-up comedy. Most of us never even realize that's what's actually happening, all right? When they start telling a joke, it's like, oh, I wish I could give you guys an example. I can't. I'm not a stand-up comedian. When they sit there, they'll tell some kind of joke. Much later on, they'll make another joke referring to that joke back there again. And you're like, oh, and suddenly it's another layer of funny. Now, that is what's being done here, but not with humor. Okay, this is something that doesn't always happen. The red pills are brought up again. Nuke's red pills, give me a red. Those. That comes up again. Sabretooth calls out, hey, do we still have any of those packs left? Now, you might think right away, it's, okay, so we'll all take one and then we'll be tougher when we're fighting these things. No. No, that's not actually how the pills are being used. They're being used a little bit different. And another aspect of the pills are being used, all right, to interfere with Mentalo's mental control. So that was pretty interesting also. This was a really good use, probably the best use I've read yet of the red pills for Nuke, all right? I think most of us, we love Nuke as a bad guy, as a tragic hero, as whatever kind of figure you want to place him as. He's a really interesting character, all right? But as red pills, I've never seen them used quite like this before. This was a novel use of the pills, of the abilities that they grant, of what they do. I really liked it. This was a solid. So that's pretty much what happened here. There, we had the Nuke. What, I can't remember what the particular issues were called. Nuclear War. They were called Nuclear War. I remembered. So there's a reference back to that story arc again, and it works, even though it's not comedy. It works. That's awesome. I totally dug that. So man, I'm telling you, this comic book, dude, this title. It's so red hot right now. I'm just saying, I just hope that Marvel doesn't pay too much attention and start going, well, let's start giving it variant covers also, and let's also do this and that. It's like, no. How about this, Marvel? Shut up and let these guys do their work. Let these people do their job, okay? That's it. Just keep on cutting them a paycheck and just butt out of their business. because this is fire right now. All right, that's it for me, guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.